So yes, trade. The trade caravan has arrived. Whilst I remember, I need to cancel, there's a task here to link this building to the bridge. Now the bridge has been torn down, so we better cancel that task off for now. Once we get the bridge constructed correctly as a drawbridge, and I think these steps are built. Marvellous. So the steps are already done. Yeah, as soon as this bridge is built as a drawbridge, we'll relink it up to the lever downstairs to pull it to a close. So the trade then. We've gone for 3 months, living off our own production, living off the supplies that we brought in the caravan, and we're now able to trade for the first time for goods that we might need. So first things first, we need to highlight the trade depot, and we need to move the goods that we are ready to trade for profit to the trade depot. So we're basically bringing the goods to market. So what are we bringing? Well, we have plenty of mugs that we've crafted, and we also have some spiked wooden balls as well. So we can search for those if we press, is it S to search? No, let's have a look here. As you can tell, I haven't traded very often. There is a way to, I think it's S for select, and you just type in, don't you? Oh, there you go, yeah, weapon bin. There should be a weapon bin here, and that, if we look with V, should contain spiked balls, so we can, yeah, that's lovely. So if we take that to the trade depot, and if we type in with S, we type in finished goods bin, that should be where all our mugs are. So these are finished goods bins. So if we click on the top, basically, oh, we can use the mouse here, I didn't know that. We click on them all and just press V to look what's inside. So that's got some mugs in there, that's got some mugs in there, mugs, yeah, so all of these bins have got mugs in. So these are all the mugs, and we're shifting the weapons bin, so we've got to wait until those have been shifted to the trade depot. Just wait for the carts and the caravans to get themselves in, unload all their wares. We also, whilst we're at it, need to request that the trader comes to the depot to trade. Now our trader is Horston, so we press R and the trader is requested. To ensure that he doesn't do anything else and get distracted, we're actually going to take off his hauling labours, and hopefully he shouldn't take too long in getting his backside over there. We still have to wait for the goods to be taken, so there's no immediate rush. And they do hang around for a little while, the traders. They don't rush off anywhere, so you do have some time to get yourself sorted. So we go to the stockpile level, and some of the finished goods bins are still waiting to be taken. The weapons bin is on this level here somewhere. That's already been taken. So just waiting for the finished goods bin to get shifted up. Come on, guys. There's one of them. Still 2 to go. That's the bars and blocks bin, so just 1 to go in fact. Come on, come on. I wonder if our miners have mined out this staircase. I don't think they have, you know. This doesn't look like a mined out staircase. It's still marked as a soil floor, so I don't think it's been mined out. I'll have to get to that in a minute. Anyway, let's get ourselves back to the trade depot. I think all of our goods might have been traded now, so if we click into it and go to G, you can see that all the goods that we've asked to be traded are now marked as trading, so they've all been taken. And because Horston should be here, we can press T to trade, and this gets us to the trade screen. Lovely. So first things first, we're going to sell all. I wonder if you can use a mouse here as well. Nope, you can't use it here. Right, so we're just going to basically sell all our mugs and the wooden spike balls. So if you use Shift and Enter, it moves down automatically for you when you press enter. We just want to sell the mugs, we don't want to sell anything else. So we just go through the list and sell all the mugs. Not selling the bins, of course. If you sell the bins, it sells the bin and everything in it, so it is slightly quicker, but I want to keep the bins. Thank you very much. Okay, so is that all of them? So it's not a massive amount. We've got about 7,000 to spend, which is reasonable really for a first trade. We should get what we need here without too much fuss. I thought we had more mugs than this, but obviously not. Might have to get our mug industry a bit more ship sharp and Bristol fashioned, eh? It seems to be somewhat lacking. Is that all of them? Am I missing a bin or two here? I don't know. I should have 90 mugs. This could be 90 mugs. Anyway, we'll live with it. So we got close to 7,000, which means we can probably spend about 4,500 to 5,000 because the traders will require a profit. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. Now, my strategy for purchasing items here, my first strategy is to cover something called strange moods. Now, dwarves go into strange moods occasionally, and what that means is they come over all queer and they rush off, claim a workshop and want to make an artifact of some sort. And for that artifact they will need to use certain ingredients, certain materials, and they could request a whole host of various materials. Metal bars, cut gems, a whole host of things. So we don't have a great deal of items at the moment in terms of these kind of materials. We have wood, we have stone, but what I do when I'm trading is I try and ensure that I get as much items as possible that can cover a strange mood. So metal bars are something that they do sometimes ask for, so I'm going to go and get a couple of metal bars here. So a couple of tin bars and some nickel bars, nothing too overly expensive, maybe some copper bars. So that should metal bars sorted. They also request sometimes cut gems, so if we get ourselves a couple of cut gems, so radium cut pink and a couple of cut gems there, and that should be some cut gems sorted. We already have some raw gems. We have some green tourmalines, I think, in our store somewhere, so they're uncut gems, so that should be covered. They also request stone blocks, which we can actually make ourselves, but we haven't made any yet. So I'll maybe get a couple of stone blocks here just to cover that. So that's stone blocks as well. Next up is glass. They might request glass, green, clear or crystal. So if we get some green glass and we get some crystal glass and we get some clear glass, again that should cover us in case the dwarf asks for that. Green, clear and crystal. Might ask for bones, which we can get from butchery, so that's not a problem. They may also ask for leather, so we'll get down to the leather and then some cloth and some skulls as well. So that's pretty much the strange mood sorted. We'll cover anything else that we need as we go down the list of items to trade for. So ropes. I believe we brought some ropes on embark with us. Now I will get a couple more. In fact, I'll go for the cheaper ones. Why go for 80 when you can get for 60? So that's a couple of ropes. He's also got some sheep wool rope there. We'll go for 3 ropes. I don't think we need to do any more than that. We can actually craft them ourselves eventually anyway. So some rope there. Is this leather? That's water skins. Not bothered about water skins just yet. Water skins are used for your military, I believe, when they are out on patrols and things. They drink from water skins. These are items, musical instruments and toys. Not interested. Some animals. I'm not really interested in animals either right now. We have some cages. We can make our own cages, although they are wooden at the moment. Alpaca's milk. We'll go for some milk. Yeah, so that's some alpaca milk, useful in cooking. I'm going to get a whole host of cooking materials so that our dwarves can feast on some lovely food. Tiger blood, no. Willow barrel, that's very expensive for a barrel. We are going to get some excess alcohol. We are crafting it, we are brewing our own, but the more the merrier. And empty barrels are always a boon as well, so any empty barrels that are pretty cheap, I'm going to go for them. So that's mango wood barrel, maple barrel, only 10, chestnut barrel, some cheap buckets as well. So we're getting lots of cheap stuff, going for the bargain bins here. Some more buckets, and then we get some weapons. Now I don't have a military, but it's always good to have a couple of spare weapons just in case of emergency, so I'm going to get a couple of weapons spare. These are going to be quite pricey. Silver mace. I don't even know how the weapon system works as well, so if I get something that's completely useless, you'll have to forgive me. A bronze battle axe doesn't sound too shabby. Crossbows, bismuth bronze mace, copper short sword, steel pick, steel picks, bronze short sword, silver battle axe, copper warhammer. That's very cheap. I'll go for one of them. I like cheap. Copper mace as well. You can get, you're getting the theme here, aren't you? Cheap and cheerful is the way to go. Copper short sword. I wonder if copper's pretty weak, I think, but maybe get one crossbow as well. Go for an iron crossbow and a couple of bolts to make do. So that should do us in the weapon front. Cheap and cheerful all the way. Picks, we have a couple of picks already. Could get a spare, I suppose, but nah, we'll leave it. And then we get to armour. Now, there are just so many different clothing items. I wouldn't even know where to begin, so I'm going to actually not buy any armour at all. These are just clothings, I think. Socks and shoes and whatever else. Steel shield, iron shield, a couple of shields maybe. Again, pretty pricey, but could come in handy. Get one shield and one helm, hoods, gauntlets. I mean, look how detailed. You've got to buy the right gauntlet and the left gauntlet, not just a pair. You've got to buy them individually. Right, a copper left gauntlet and a copper right gauntlet. Bronze helm. Wow. What the hell is one of these? Right glove. So a couple of items there of armour. Right, we've got some sweet pod seeds. Some more seeds would be nice, I suppose. I don't know how much we have in our stocks. Sweet pod seeds bag. Yeah, go on then. We don't need any plump helmet spawn. We're probably going to be drowning in plump helmet spawn before we know it. A couple of bags maybe. So we've got some chests. We can make some chests. I'll leave chests for now. But bags are nice. Spider silk bag, that's only 30. Tiger leather bag is only 30. A couple of bags to store things in. Llama wool bag. It's 80. Red sand bag. Sweet pods. We've got some sweet pods already. Go for one more bag here. It's only 55. Giant cave spider silk bag. No. Gypsum plaster. Gypsum plaster is good for hospitals. You need gypsum plaster, I think, to set casts, so we'll get a bag of that. Not bothered about dyes. Here is the cloth. So pigtail fibre cloth. So plant fibre cloth is on the list of things that a dwarf with a strange mood might need. So we're just going to get I'll get 5 of them. That'll do for now. We can actually buy the whole cloth bin if we're that way inclined, but I think just a couple of items of it will be fine. I've got a couple of wool cloths just in case that they're different than plant fibre cloths. There's also silk cloth as well. Yeah, silk cloth is also a potential. So we've got a few items of spider silk cloth. So that's the cloth situation sorted. Then we've got some leather. Leather also might come up, so we've got a few items of leather. So we've got the silks, we've got the cloth, we've got the leather, and that's it. So all the strange moods, apart from shell and bones, is pretty much covered for. So if we get a dwarf with a strange mood, we shouldn't be in too bad a shape. So now it's just a case of buying some bolts for the crossbow. 50, that'll do for now. 25 bolts, not a massive amount, but we're running a little bit low on money here. I'm not bothered about earrings, and we obviously need an anvil. We didn't embark with an anvil, so we're going to get 1 iron anvil and 2 iron anvils. We'll leave the steel ones, and this is where we get the meat. Now this is going to be my main focus for this first trade. I'm going to get a massive stock of food items. So all prepared meats and a whole host of fish is what I'm going for. You can see here we've got fish, we've got meats, there'll be some cheese as well lower down the list. Pond turtles. Plump helmets we're not interested in. Okay, spider silk thread. We'll get some thread. We'll get some thread. Thread's handy. Okay, and some pigtail fibre thread as well, why not? Okay. What's all this? Some more leather. Some backpacks, not interested. Cheese! Cheese is good, so get some cheese. Pig cheese. Some items of cheese. Splints. I think we already have some, but we'll get another couple of splints. And some crutches. 1, 2, 3, 4 more crutches. And that should be it. So a nice little assortment. So we have strange moods accounted for. We have some weapons, a very limited stock of armour, some meats, some fish, some cheese, a barrel of milk, some more alcohol, and that should really do us. We should be in good stead here. So if we press T to trade, this hopefully will go through as a positive trade. I can't fathom you ending up with all of these items. Well, he's not happy. Not happy with this much profit. Wow, flaming hell. Okay, we're going to have to now go through and remove some things. Talk about embarrassing. What can we remove? I think we're pretty on the borderline here, so if we just maybe get rid of some of the non-essentials, maybe okay, maybe cut back a little bit on the food stuff, and then we did have a whole host of food and stuff there, so if we just maybe cut back a tiny teensy wincy bit on maybe some of the cheese items. So if we take some of the cheese off and have a bit less cheese, and maybe a bit less meat and fish, and that might hopefully keep them sweet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, take off a bit of fish. Yeah, you got plenty of fish there, and take off maybe some of the meat as well. Okay, so he's getting a bit more profit, so this hopefully will keep him sweet. Ah, wonderful! Thank you for your business. So there we go. Not as much as I did originally hope, but not bad for a first trade. So once you've finished trading, press escape, and your dwarves with any sort of hauling labours on will now come and get busy taking your newly purchased goods and stashing them away somewhere in a stockpile that's relevant. Right. B for building, G for bridge, UMK and H to change the size of it. Then we're going to use the X key to make the bridge retract. As you can see up there, the direction is changed, so it's going to raise backwards, and that should make it into a drawbridge. So that should be sorted now. That little faux pas I made in the last session. And there we go. Dwarves now busying themselves, taking our newly purchased goods and sticking them in the appropriate stockpiles. And if you go to the Z screen, which is the stocks menu, automatically, even though we haven't necessarily stashed them away yet, they straight away show in our store. So if you go to the kitchen, you can see that we have a whole host of meat and fish now, and we can cook all of these. We can cook them all. And then we've got some seeds. And we've got some prickleberries and wild strawberries. We're not cooking those, we're just brewing them. We're not cooking the alcohol either, but we're cooking the cheese, we're cooking the eggs, we're cooking the milk. So we've got lots of now. We've got a bit more to play with in terms of making prepared meals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head down to the kitchens. I'm going to go to the kitchen here, add new task, prepare easy meal, and I'm going to use repeat, Alt W for workflow. I'm going to make any biscuits, which is easy meals, and we're going to keep the stocks of food again between 75 and 100. So if you do Shift and R to set the range, 75 and 100, and there we go. So as explained before, bloody ice cream man again, every flaming time. If you go to the Z screen and you go to Alt W, we've got tracked drink between 75 and 100 and tracked meals between 75 and 100. You can workflow to death and track nearly everything. Bins, pots, if pots drop below a certain level, empty pots. I think food and drink is a main two here. I think the larger your fortress gets, it can become a bit of a bugbear keeping track of food and drink orders, so workflowing those is a massive weight really off your mind. You can focus on other things. So my brewer cook, Dopey, after she's had a drink, should come down here and start cooking up some delicious biscuits, some easy meals using the newly purchased items of food, and hopefully that will get my dwarves' taste buds tickled. And winter has arrived. Yes, indeed. The dreaded winter months are here. Although we're in a warm climate, so we shouldn't get snow. And we're going to pause it there, with the arrival of winter. So there we go, we've had a look at the new dwarves, a look at the old dwarves, discussed vampires and how they might be spotted and how potentially to quarantine them to get confirmation. And then we've looked at our first trade. So the next session will be my last session of this first stint of this collaborative LP, and it will be tackling the winter and continuing to expand our fortress even further. So join me then for that. See you soon.